Alright. Okay. So, okay, that was the problem. I didn't get the thing for that. Okay, so we have 3 people we can ask. We do have 3 people we can ask about this. Alright. So we can ask Julia, Lenny, and the doctor. So I'll start with Julia just because she's down here. I guess maybe last time it didn't count me checking one of the recordings or something. Ooh. Uh-oh. Okay, I think I clicked too fast. Julia. A little bit of help, please. Hi.
Sorry to bother you again, Julia.
Okay, so people. No. Tasks.
I would like to look into the history of a patient called Bertrand.
Bertrand. That does ring a bell.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm not really sure about other patients at the Institute. I know there's a few, namely Leonard, but perhaps Dr. Miller knows more.
That's what I figured. Okay.
I don't think...
Thank you for...
Okay.
That's all for now.
Okay. So Dr. Miller, and we can check with Lenny too. So I can use this as a shortcut now as well. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, so alright, second floor we go. Oof. Why'd the music suddenly get all messed up, huh? Hey, Lenny. Want to have a word with you real quick?
Hi again, Lenny.
Hi.
What can you tell me about Bertrand?
Bertrand. That name sounds familiar. He was a friend.
Yes, Lenny, I think he was too. Do you know where I can find him? Think hard, please.
I'm not sure. But I remember him. We sat together many times.
Nothing else, Lenny?
I'm so sorry, but no.
Did you hear anything else about...
Okay.
See you around, Lenny.
Unfortunately, he froze a little for a second there. It's fine. There he goes. Okay, so we can talk to the doctor, Dr. Miller, about this. Maybe Bertrand's... Maybe for all we know, Bertrand's downstairs in one of the rooms. Sorry to bother you again, Doctor.
Dr. Miller?
What is it this time?
Just one moment of your time, please. I'm looking for information on a patient called Bertrand.
Bertrand. He's one from the old group, right?
I believe so. I've seen footage of him in the therapy room.
Footage? Intriguing. I'll have to take a look at that. But yes, of course he sounds familiar. He's here tonight.
Oh?
What do you mean, here? Physically?
Physically? What are you, a ghost hunter? Of course, in flesh and blood. He's one of the patients being relocated.
This is an incredible development. Where can I see him?
I don't have such details. All I know is that he's in the same cell where he used to be.
Okay. Enter Bertrand's cell.
Sorry, where was Bert?
As I told you, I don't know the exact cell number, only it's the same one where he used to be.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. New topic came up, though.
You mentioned that Bertrand is back in the Institute?
Yes, the same cell as before.
Oh. Okay.
I'll be on my way.
Okay. So then... my best bet is to, wait a minute. Should be in here. Letter from Miller. First newspaper. Report about Bertrand. Oh, whoops. Damn it. Forgot, I have to hit tab for it to... Mail wing, first floor, cell 102A. Okay. Okay, we got a cell. That... I thought it was weird because they kept mentioning the cell is really quiet. That's his cell. Okay. Can I ask you about Bertrand? Sure, I'll just put it on your tab. Oh my god. Mr. Foxperson, sir, how much are they charging me for this, huh? How much is getting in my added to my tab every time I ask? 102A. Bingo. According to my findings, this was Bertrand's cell. Door was locked, but surely someone in the Institute had the... Aha! Journal updated. Oh god. The sealed window didn't even allow for a breath of fresh air. Wait, there's no one in here. Oh god, there he is. Okay. Holy crap. That scared me for a second. It was an old empty stand, sad like the rest of the furniture. The books were covered in dust, meaning they hadn't been read in a long time. I'll talk to you now in a second, Bertrand. Just gotta look around the room real quick first. It didn't seem comfortable, and I wasn't planning to confirm the theory anyway. Oh? Oh! Aha. Oh. Another vision, but with a clear sense of purpose. This patient Bertrand had seen something of major importance, which he absent-mindedly attempted to draw on the floor. But what? Had I also seen it? Okay. Okay. Switch was damaged, leaving half of the room in the dark. Okay, okay. Oh, they just extend your room stay by a couple of days. Oh. Well, that's not good. What had they done to you, Bertrand? Bertrand. There he was, but seemingly in a state of catatonia or trance. I wondered if he'd be of any help. Not that. Not that. No. No, we want the red crayon. There you go, Bertrand. Huh. Will you talk to me now? Okay, you'll actually talk to me now. Cool. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna make a save here. Just in case. I'd found a bunch of random stuff and I didn't know what the hell they were for. Okay. What had they done to you, Bertrand? Bertrand, there he was, but seemingly... Huh? Oh, okay. So I can ask him stuff. Get them... It was... Wait. The only way was to proceed no matter what. Drain the septic tank. Get the music box. I was positive that I had seen a music box somewhere else before. Wait a minute, what? Huh? Music box somewhere else before. Why the music box? What's that have to do with anything? There he was, but seemingly in a state of catatonia or trance. I wondered if he'd be of any help. Who was Bertrand's cellmate? Was he also involved in the events that led to this nightmare? Well, I can't talk to him. But why do I need a music box? Huh. Oh. 12 a.m. Bertrand was beyond help, yet he'd clearly seen something linked to my visions. And who was the man with him who had swallowed that wind-up key for the music box? Okay, so I can go back in. What had they done to you? Okay. Huh. So... Nursery rhyme. In my vision, Bertrand seemed to react to a nursery rhyme from a music box. Perhaps I'd be able to trigger another reaction from him if I was able to play that tune again. Get music box. In my vision, Bertrand seemed to react to the tune of a quirky music box. What odd pattern was he scribbling on the floor? Music box stimulated Bertrand in a strange way, prompting him to draw a weird doodle on the floor. I knew I had to replicate this cryptic moment. Okay. So I'm looking for a music box then. And it said I think it said that I'd seen one before? Huh. Okay. Well, I'm guessing I can't just play the, can't just play the records. Huh. Well then, I wonder... I guess I gotta start from the front again and work my way back. Or... maybe Lenny's seen something. If I can find Lenny. Lenny has been helpful. Okay, okay. Alright, Lenny Please tell me you're still on the second floor. I hope, I hope, I hope. Hopefully you haven't moved. Oh, you have moved. Okay, you're not cleaning anymore. Then again, maybe the music box is up here. Complexity of design in the window behind bathed this spot of the corridor with a unique glow. God damn it. Operating rooms. Well, the key for the music box might be in the operating rooms if they ever, like, took it out of the guy, but... Morgue, laboratory, museum, as well as the bathroom of the second floor. Wouldn't open. Oh? Huh. No trace of water. And what is this one? Exhausted and disappointed by the last session, I decided to take a walk outside in the yard to clear my mind. It was a sunny afternoon, more peaceful than usual, with patients aimlessly wandering on the grass, all of them lost in their own absent-minded business, a soothing ambiance, if a bit eerie, which helped calm my nerves. Among those patients seemingly enjoying the blissful yet rare moment was Leonard, who was more talkative than usual with his peers, clearly influenced by the same kind of haunting aura that I felt in the air. There's something about him that makes me even more irate about the regressions in my group. Leonard was so close to being discharged from the Institute. As I approached him in hopes of having a more open conversation than our therapy sessions usually afforded, a striking detail that I had missed earlier, thanks to the duller lighting of the therapy room, stopped me in my tracks. There was a noticeable rash across his ankle, running from his right foot up to the bottom of his gown. Leonard seemed to have repeatedly scratched himself, and quite recently too, judging by the shiny red spots sprinkled across his skin. Puzzled about this, I motioned to get my patient's attention, but noticed yet another curious aspect of his appearance. His gown was overly dirty, although this fact by itself was irritatingly usual by now. However, it wasn't just dirt, but some sort of splotches of organic matter, as if Leonard had rubbed himself against a moldy wall. My initial guess was that he'd simply laid down on the grassy grounds of the yard to have some rest, but there was something about the texture of those stains that still intrigued me. They had a certain glittering nature to them, like the trail a slug would leave. And the color wasn't quite green either, as in reminiscent of grass, but a shade similar to turquoise. I took Laird to my office so I could ask him a few questions in private. The organic stuff that I obtained from Laird's gown has proven to be more bewildering than I imagined. It is of fungoid origin as suspected, yet seems to be exceedingly rare. While this is far from my area of expertise, there's no question the sample is something unique. Its properties indicate that it can only thrive in warm and humid environments, which are unlike the conditions in our region. We're blessed with dry weather throughout the year. Moreover, that means this mold, fungus, is this from some kind of deep undergrowth, and somehow Leonard has gotten close to it? I left a cotton swab impregnated with this stuff next to one of those lab rats. Evidence dictates that the presence of this material caused a visible rash on Laird's body, so a mere small quantity should produce a marked change in such a little critter. Something happened to the rat. I can't quite put my finger on what that is, but the rat is behaving differently. No visible physical alterations of note, but something's not the same. Could it be... is it carcinogenic? A number of mold species produce toxins that can cause various health problems, the worst of which can ultimately include liver and lung cancer, as well as invasive diseases, especially in small children, the elderly, and people with weak immune systems. The most toxic mold known to date is thought to be black mold, or Stachybotrys chartarum, which can cause general respiratory problems, especially if one has asthma or allergies, and may be linked to lung cancer. But none of this applies to our case. Moreover, some poisonous mushrooms are known to cause organ failure, but none that have proven to be evasive to this extent. There's the death caps and the rather romantically named destroying angels. In the realm of plants, there's of course the Atropa belladonna, but that's basically poison. It doesn't stimulate a malignant growth. While some species of mushrooms contain naturally produced carcinogens, there exist only a minute amounts and cannot. These exist only in minute amounts and cannot directly cause cancer. And yet there are peer-reviewed records of the unusual Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, which is a pathogenic fungus, although it only attacks insects. It is parasitic indeed and did something to the rat, but no, that's impossible. There are no records of such a thing anywhere in the world. If what I suspect is true, this carcinoma has an effect akin to a hallucinogen drug, and if Leonard came close to it, maybe the rest... Oh my god. Huh. Thank you for the snack, V4. So... Okay. So let me put a few things together here. So, in order to update the building, they needed to build the tunnels underground. To save on money, they got patients to do the digging. And they used people all from one group so that, like, to keep it all among a certain group of people. That way, they didn't want to take... There was another note saying they didn't want to take, like, one person from each group. Otherwise, they might talk and stuff. Give me some sugar. Wow, V4. Okay, you get your smooch, but goddamn, you're not getting any tongue. Ew. Mwah. There you go. Yeah, to keep rumors to a minimum, they decided just to use everyone in one group. That way they could just deny it as like a group hallucination or something. So they got them digging underground to make the tunnels, and while doing that, they must have found this mold, or this fungus, or whatever it is. Okay. The chair was twisted and creepy. Rehabilitation sessions, morning report. What the hell? Number of patients exhibited injuries of varying severity and unknown origin. It is recommended that they continue with a more extensive round of rehabilitation sessions to avoid a worsening condition. As usual, we will continue with the sessions sorted by cell number. For snacks I have vegetable thins, V4. Cell 101A, patient is well, no special care needed. Cell 102A, cellmates Bertrand LaRoche and William Hodgson presented a marked deterioration in their condition. LaRoche is growing increasingly tense, and Nurse Marion noticed a number of bruises in his body. New episodes in which he falls into a sort of catatonic state, unable to respond to stimulations. Hodgson is similarly more on edge than usual and presented serious burns on his chest that no one could explain. We recommend strict supervision. Okay, so that's his... William Hodgson is was his cellmate. Cell 105A, we detected a nerve fracture in Leonard's ankle. None of the staff can explain how this happened. They are aware of his osteogenesis, and extreme care was already enforced. 2 sessions each day are recommended. Noon report. Cell 102A, cellmates had some kind of quarrel over a music box that LaRoche enjoyed, but made Hodgson nervous, as described by Marion. In the struggle, Hodgson retrieved the spring from the device and immediately swallowed it. The patient was immediately taken to the operating room, but surgeons deemed too dangerous to perform the excision in his current condition. High blood pressure must be managed before administering anesthesia. Evening report. Cell 102A, Hodgson died of a heart attack during his session. Nothing could be done to lower his pressure. Before passing away, specialists reported a heart rate so high the chest was visibly throbbing violently. The deceased has been taken to the morgue. Cell 105A. Crawford has developed chronic asthma. Traces of ashes or dirt were found across his body. Recommend increased supervision of his daily wanderings. The patient insists to sleep with the lights on, which bothers Leonard. Hodgson. Was that the patient who had swallowed the wind-up key in my vision? Yeah? So his corpse should be in the morgue. I guess that's what we need to go and get it from. You want chocolate chip cookies? I do casters too. No, you don't, V4. You do fake casters. I mean, they're real, but they're not actual casters. Broken wheelchair, useless. What am I hearing? I hear something. Is it the light? Might be the light. Huh. Weird. Leonard Huntings? What the hell? Okay. Will Hodgson. Age 43, condition stable, male wing, first floor, cell 102A, group therapy group E. Profile. William Hodgson is a robust man with rugged facial features. Half of his face is covered in severe burn scars. He fell victim to an intense fire as a child as a result of being neglected by his parents. Ever since that event, Hodgson has experienced acute panic attacks whenever the subject of fire surfaces in any given conversation. An inevitable occurrence that has resulted in psychogenic, non-epileptic seizures and uncontrollable crying. Such reactions are in stark contrast with his imposing looks, yet Hodgson has unfortunately become a slave to his irrational fear. However, this patient can be equally pacific and mellow, routinely obeying orders and staying out of trouble. Specialists have determined his condition is reserved. While he shows promise, he is slow and exhibits difficulty reasoning and learning, far more than his peers. Hodgson is lucky to have a formidable voice that commands a sense of respect, which has fooled high-risk patients who would otherwise have taken advantage of him. Huh. Okay. So that was the guy. Stretcher looked quite uncomfortable. Okay, so I can't take anything from this. Yeah, that's got to be that light above me. A set of wooden stairs, probably used to train patients. A typical scale for measuring the weight of patients was rusted. Okay, I guess that's all that's in here. Still, that does possibly mean that... So, when we were in the morgue before, there were some body bags. Ooh. When we were in the morgue before, there were some body bags. This panel was too worn out to read properly. Something about this place sent a shiver down my spine. There was a hint of dread in the air, thanks in part to a freakish mechanical apparatus reigning over the room. It was simply amazing that the lamp still emitted such a powerful light. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the body bags that were in the morgue, they had numbers written on them. It might be the room numbers that they're a patient from. Okay. A jar that seemed unused in newer condition than the rest of the items here piqued my interest. The label said, hydrochloric acid. I nearly returned it to the shelf, but decided to keep it around. For now. Fair enough, you never know when you have to melt something. Might be important. Okay, the water actually works in here. Good to know. The blanket covering the stretcher looked disgusting, as if it had been drawing dust and fetid condensation for a long time. What the... Why am I... There was no sample in it. Sample? Huh? Sample? I don't know what that's about. Needle. Nothing here. Was this a blood clot? Just yellow papers. Okay. So if I follow, you're going to go inspect a corpse to get back a key he swallowed? Yeah, that sounds about right, Mr. Foxperson, sir, but I'll do that eventually. You do not recognize the bodies in the morgue. Well, the couple that were there were all in black body bags, so we weren't opening. I never liked syringes, but it was in good shape and could have proven useful, so I took it with me. Oh, that might be for the other guy. We might be able to stick him with something. I wouldn't have enjoyed drinking coffee from any of these cups. Maybe if we find a sedative. It's an ancient Greek drawing. Several test tubes, essential elements in any medical environment.